welcome to this pick a card reading. It's Wednesday. We're gonna do Shadowing Wednesday. I invite you to use this as an opportunity to practice your discernment and strengthen your own intuition. Knowing we all have a direct link to source, knowing that our hearts all know what is true for us. And just take a moment to breathe and drop into space. Trust in your wisdom in your body and releasing any fear or limiting beliefs that may cause you to cling to what is not for you. So you can glean from this message what is intended for you, with the intention of healing, personal empowerment, integration, alchemy, and growth. All right. Pick a card. Okay, so how's this going to work? This is the light energy, and this applies to all three piles. So check this out, and then we're going to move on to the pick a card section, where we're going to go into what aspects within the shadow are being either triggered or unearthed or ready to release, integrate, work with at this time. So this is all about essentially coming home to ourselves to truly enjoy life, be in touch with the inner child, and create beauty on earth. So this card is all about pleasure and divine pleasure, and understanding that allowing ourselves joy and pleasure and lightness can be in honor of the divine. And especially there's so many spiritual teachings that encourage us to fully reject any earthly pleasures, whereas many other spiritual teachings think that that's missing the point entirely. And that is where I'm aligned and what this card touches on actually. And everything in life is about a balance. So it's not a matter of falling into hedonism, but that recognizing that pleasure, play, joy, lightness is a part of life that's meant to be enjoyed. It's something that we can learn from. It's something that we can grow through. And it's a gift to the divine to be able to experience that through us, right? And this, the wisdom of the inner child, that passion, that not the just untethered, like wounded inner child, but no, that inner child that knows our authentic passions and how to enact that and to lead us in that direction and to follow this voice. And that's how we will be living in alignment, right, with our truth. And so this card is all about that, really about getting in touch with that authenticity. And hold on, let me just real quick. Getting this clean slate, right? You have this clean slate, you've done this work, and you're entering this new chapter of your life. You have this opportunity to build completely fresh. And it speaks of beautification of the physical world, right? Creating heaven on earth, building and preserving what is true to your soul because it's being built from this place. So this is a really beautiful place that we're coming into, and it's happening for so many of us collectively, just in general. And the year of the horse that we're coming into touches on this. It is the year of expansion, of allowing ourselves to run free, of allowing ourselves to express our authenticity and create beauty from that place. And when we grow and when we shift and when we bring more light in, it naturally then brings up things within the shadow. There's more light there. It's casting it a little bit deeper into the shadow. And so there's a multitude of things that can take place. Either we'll start to manifest things outside of us, sort of that could get in our way or our distractions, or just within our own minds, or just starting to you know, have the doubts or the fears crop up, and just all of these things that want to keep us pinned in the old story, right? But the beauty of it is it's at the surface, so it can be looked at, and it's here now. So we're going to move into the pick a card pile. Oh, and if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I also offer other services, distant Reiki, shamanic Reiki, and other shamanic services, spiritual guidance, through healing and awakening. I will link my information down in the description. And yes, onward into the pick a cards. Card number 1, people, hello, welcome. So, when I looked at this card, immediately what was standing out to me was boundaries in place, right? The bird, to me, represented communication, and the ability to do so, right? Strength in that, in voice. And the lotus felt to me like a call to soften, right? To soften into oneself. And so the book talks about how she is the tantric queen of outcasts, unveiling hidden inner power to thrive outside of unconventional society. It talks about the power of voice and the healing of art and music. She brings healing and empowerment to the rejected and abandoned. So this is a group of people who are eccentric. You're not status quo, right? You have your own unique frequency, and we all do, right? But like a super unique frequency that in the past has caused people to perhaps reject you or make you feel like you're crazy or this or that or just othered, right? And we've come away from that at some point in our life, right? We dimmed that light. We disconnected from that authentic place a bit. And now, as we're coming into this more healed place of letting the inner child lead, we are finding that we're a lot weirder, weird in a good way. Y'all are my people. And we're a lot weirder than we would have anticipated or maybe feel comfortable with fully accepting at this time. That's what's in the shadow, more of your own authenticity and how that might be unconventional, right? But that's your power. It's so interesting how society picks on others and tries to mold into a box those who are unique and different. But then when, you know, so often these unique and different people come up with groundbreaking technologies or art or this or that, and then they're gone, and now suddenly they are celebrated, right? They are celebrated for their work, and that it's an unfortunate thing that that's how it plays out. And I believe that shifting, you know, humanity's coming more and more into this place of celebrating uniqueness and otherness, which is beautiful. And it is your time to really do that. Those people who got recognized only were able to do that because they didn't silence it for the sake of making other people comfortable. And so you're being asked to let your freak flag fly, because that is the medicine that you're bringing to the world. And whatever difficulties or fears or anxieties that you're dealing with right now, whatever's bubbling up to the surface, it's pointing to this. So let's see. What deck do we want to pull from? Oh my goodness, where is that one deck? That's so funny. Oh, here she is. Let's see, this is gonna have to be upside down for you for a minute, and then I will fix that. We're doing the best we can with this camera. Beautiful. All right. Deepen self-knowledge, celebrate change, activate more bliss, embrace transition is at the bottom, right? So this is the overarching like energy. You're being called to embrace this transition at this time fully by deepening self-knowledge. What really makes you tick? What truly are your values? I've recently started walking around sometimes with like a bird on my head. I'll go out with cat ears. Like, we are boxed. We're so boxed and made to be ashamed, to be strange. But then again, look, then Lady Gaga goes on, she does, and then people celebrate that uniqueness. It's so weird. It's because it triggers them. The reason people try to box and diminish uniqueness is because it triggers the fact that they're not in touch with that for themselves, you know what I mean? And instead of setting themselves free, they'd rather keep everybody else caged. And it's not even a conscious thing, it's a subconscious thing. It's part of the program of how ish works here, you know what I mean? But yeah, you're really being asked to allow this for yourself. Celebrate this change. Celebrate like coming back home to yourself and how beautiful that is. And it's going to activate more bliss. Like, that is the medicine. That is the medicine. You are the medicine. All right, beautiful. Guardian, dream, and protection. And this is just a message that you have guides, so many beautiful guides around you at this time to help protect this dream of yours, right? This dream of that wise inner child. So you are protected as you pursue this path, and it's just time to get out of your own way. And it's difficult and painful when we are made to feel ashamed of who we are, when we hide and suppress ourselves for so long. And this is something I know all too well. And so many aspects of myself I just couldn't. I mean, I've always been weird. There was no hiding that. I didn't want to, but there were so many ways in which I still held myself back. And I've just been breaking through more and more all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this here because the message is really clear and I don't wanna just waste your time getting redundant. You are at this opportunity to really build something beautiful and create something beautiful within your life that won't just benefit you, but it will benefit all beings, right? And you're being asked to do it from this place of authenticity. That is your power, that is your medicine, and you're gonna feel so good when you set yourself free. You're gonna be swimming happily like a dolphin, just boop, 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 how they do this swimming. And remember, you're protected by your guides always. And if you are somebody who remembers your dreams, if you do dream work, call them in, ask them for guidance, ask them for inspiration, ask them for connection. Our guides want to help us. We just have to ask, and we forget to ask sometimes. So yeah, I hope this helps, and it's very exciting to think about what you freaky people gonna create. Hello, group 2, and welcome to the reading. So this card, she's looking back, right? It's like she's stuck in the past. And in the book, it talks about how she is here to help facilitate in the healing of those who have been betrayed, rejected, abandoned. And specifically, she works with youth, inspiring them to believe in their dreams and their abilities and understand that youth is not an indicator or signifier of wisdom per se, or lack thereof. And it also talks about appearances, anything like that outwardly. In society, you know, we're taught, don't judge a book by its cover, but that's what people do. And it's just sort of how our brain is like designed, pattern recognition, this, that. It's not even intentional half the time. But, so this is about a group who has been put in a box or told that they're not able to do this or that or whatever because of something external. And about healing to find the discernment to, let's see exactly how to put it, discerning deeper qualities, right? And not just making assumptions based on these external things. And so it's talking about too, asking or allowing yourself to surrender and trust in this process and not, instead of having your eyes stuck in the past. Because when we do that, right, we have this opportunity in front of us and we're like, well, it's going to play. Look what happened last time. It's just going to happen again. And that logical mind, like I said, that same part of the mind that judges the book by its cover, likely is the same part of the mind. I know some of the mind. I don't know if this is exactly true though. But I love the brain. It's so fascinating. I love learning about its mechanisms. Anyway, but that will look at that, right? Because it's pattern recognition. It'll look at that and be like, same thing's gonna happen. Like, they didn't take me seriously, so I'm never gonna be taken seriously. And you're being asked to recognize that that's in the past and that's not true. And to not let your mind spinning these stories of how you're gonna fail before you even get started because of these wounds, right? So this version of Kali, she comes in to help heal. And that's where you're being guided to heal. These stories of the past, that for whatever reason that is actually not true, that you'd be incapable of doing what it is that you're getting ready to do now. Okay, so we're gonna call from the Native Spirit Speaks deck. Call? Draw? I don't even know. I don't even know what I share. We're gonna keep going. Oh, that's it. Okay. Spirit Keeper of the North. So now the North is the direction of our ancestors, of the winter time, and of quiet and solitude, right? So take time for contemplation to turn within and connect to your ancestors. Create dreams for your future. Forgiving the people and situations that you've been dragging around for a while. It's time to take measures of your life, explore what's working and what's not working, and what do you need to release. And it talks about making repairs to your physical environment as well. But really, to me, it's just about going within right now and taking stock of the origin of these stories so that you can release them, right? So that you don't carry this with you into these projects that you're looking to set forth to create your life, right? Because it'll either make it much more difficult or it'll stop you from doing it altogether. So about really taking the time to go within, which is, I mean, that's always what shadow work is, right? So I guess that's gonna consistently be the advice there. Let's see. Okay, this deck. What does this collective need to hear right now for comfort? Because I'm feeling like a lot of tenderness in this. Like really like spirit crush before it ever even got the chance to shine. Like you just weren't taken seriously, you know? Again, maybe because you were young or something like that. Okay, So Crystal Skull of Wisdom, clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy. This is like a very, very powerful card. So this is a collective of young, old souls. Old souls, right? Great lessons. This is like very much looking to me like the Akashic Records, like this library of wisdom, right? So though I don't necessarily think of past lives in a linear fashion, because I don't think anything's like that, ultimately we're going to discuss it in that way. So many, many lifetimes of learning, like many, many lifetimes of learning. And you've brought in this magnificent wisdom that even if you haven't been taken seriously up until this point, what they want you to know, or what your higher self, the energy that wants to come through right now, is to know that you have already had a vast shift on the people around you. And even if they don't, the truth is felt, even if only on subconscious levels, right? So even the people who perhaps don't take you seriously on some deep level, it's more like the subconscious fear of the wisdom that you carry and how you are. So often souls like this come in and they shake up the status quo of a family structure or things like that. And again, the egos, these structures, they don't want to change. So you're told you're a bunch of things that you're not, right? When in reality, you are an old soul, you are wise, to trust in that and create what you're going to do. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, right? Because this is an end of a cycle. Like, this is not the first time, lifetimes wise, that you have dealt with this, but this is the lifetime where you're breaking it. And that's awesome, and that's amazing, and that is so powerful. Okay. As difficult and painful as it is to not be seen or validated by those around us, ultimately, the only validation that we need is from ourselves. And we will often find that when we start to validate ourselves, stand up for ourselves, take ourselves seriously, and not waste our time trying to convince people who don't want to do that, right, that don't want to respect us or whatever, and then we just allow ourselves to exist in the world, we will then attract people, places, things that do value us, that do take us seriously. We have to do that for ourselves first, and just drown out that external noise of all those voices that made you forget who you were in the first place. Because you knew what you knew, and then they were like, no, you don't. And you're like, oh, damn, maybe I don't. But you do, and you're recognizing that, and you're getting more in touch with that, and it's bringing up all these old wounds, right? And that's what's going on. Okay, I don't know why, but as I was shuffling, I heard there was a farmer had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, that might be for somebody. Relationship, express, don't stagnate. So right now I feel this collective has got a lot bubbling up, and it's causing like resentment and anger, and understandable, right? You're like realizing how your voice was taken, and how you've allowed your voice to be taken as well, and all of these things. And while, like I said, we don't need to convince anybody of anything, but with the people that we have relationships with in our lives, be it our family or our friends or whatever, we need to have hard conversations. We need to let them know how we feel. Otherwise, the relationship is not actually authentic. It is not based on unconditional love, and it can explode and turn into an argument where we later then say things that we regret or handle things. And you know what I'm saying? So it's always better to, even when it's difficult, to have these conversations, but to do it with love, right? Like, don't do it like the volcano. Do it before it becomes the volcano, in feminine power, in that gentleness, in that love. And so y'all are obviously connected. Ask for help for your ancestors, right? Because they are all a part of this lineage, and they can help guide you through this process of how to best communicate with whoever you need to communicate, from a place of love, but having firm boundaries, right? Walking that middle path. Ask for help. One more from here and here, and then we're done. See the beauty, gratitude. The sacred is everywhere. So you're being asked to go through this, express, heal, and then shift your focus onto what is beautiful in your life, what is working in your life, and sit in how that feels as often as you can, because our frequency attracts things, right? So we have to honor how we feel at all stages. We value our humanness, we go through these processes, but then we also have to come to a point of not getting stuck in them, not drowning in them, not being toxified by them, and remembering that there's so much beauty. There's always going to be difficult things and like easier, more beautiful things that are going on simultaneously if you really look hard enough. And so it's up to you to decide where you put your focus, and just put all that focus into that beautiful, divine look. This is very birthy. You've got something beautiful to birth into the collective here. And I'm seeing like this up here, like 2 ancestors, guides. So you're really supported. You're really held. You're really ancient, and you're really wise. So I'm going to leave this at that. This is really exciting, really powerful energy. And it's just going to be a blessing, whatever you guys do. So thank you. I hope that helps. So as I was putting the cards away, the bottom of the deck was Seraphim's Gateway. You can't see that at all. Voice activation, angelic attunement, divine support. So yeah, like I said, it's perhaps you learn not to use your voice because you were never taken seriously, right? And you're coming into this time where it's time to do it in a healthy and structured way, and you have support in this, and there's healing going on of the throat chakra. So yes, wanted to throw that in. Hello, group 3. So what instantly stood out to me about this beautiful Kali is the reflection here, right? She's looking straight ahead. It's like she doesn't want to look at it. There's a fear of our own reflection. And the aspect of that reflection is something about our feminine power. And that speaks to me too, because the lotuses and the left is the feminine side. That's further away. There's some rejection or fear of something within our own feminine power, right? And what this card speaks of is casting away the constraints put on us and the fears put on us by others, and truly finding our authenticity, right? And there are so many aspects of femininity that are rejected, or deeply misunderstood within the collective, within society, right? That females are supposed to always be soft and quiet and nice at all costs, and just put away their own wants and needs and passion and fieriness and creativity. And that when we look at ourselves, when we embrace our authenticity, we find healing. And it talks about how this aspect of Kali helps when so often, what I'm getting from this collective is that we've tried a multitude of different things, a multitude of different paths, and they haven't exactly worked out. And the reasoning for that is because we're meant for something so much bigger. We are meant to build and create and live a life from a place of having integrated this highly powerful aspect of ourselves, and not power in a negative way, personal power, personal voice, authenticity. That is where we create beauty from, right? So this is the Ancestors Speak Oracle. Re-energize your life. Clear, positive space. Harmony. Now, as within, so without. This is actually talking to me a little bit about our actual physical spaces and how maybe things within them reflect this version of ourselves that actually isn't true to us. And as we work within ourselves, right, to also look at the things in our environment that are not aligned and to clear that out, right, to create this harmony, to live more aligned with ourselves, with our truth. Reconnect with Mother Earth, plant, garden, harvest. And enjoy new beginnings, celebrate, socialize, change. We are all nature, and so much healing comes when we connect with nature. And one of the most beautiful things about just sitting in the silence of nature is that it demands nothing from us. There is nothing more authentic than nature itself. So when we allow ourselves to sit there, we can start to access that frequency for ourselves and really start to tap into what is authentic and true for us without the fear of external judgment, and just being held by beautiful Mother Nature in that space as you reconnect to this part of your authenticity of who you are, so that from there you may enjoy new beginnings, socialize, change. It is likely that as you do this, the people in your life are going to change, the social circles are going to change, the events that you attend are going to change, because again, what this group is talking about, or what this pile is talking about, it's speaking on a group who hasn't been living in their true alignment due to fears of what it is that means, right? But they're false fears. They're false fears, and you're figuring that out. So you're being asked to just come into tenderness and love and willingness to look, so that you can, like I said, make these changes in your life to fully enjoy these new beginnings. And it's so funny, the year of the horse, right? There's the horse. Love, capacity, expansion. The heart chakra, there's the upper heart chakra, the lower heart chakra, the main heart chakra. The main heart chakra is actually about like love and compassion for ourselves, right? So that's what this process of shadow work is about right now, is really looking at this aspect with love and compassion, because it's not an aspect that is negative or needs to be rejected or changed, right? It is your magic. It is your bliss and your expansion, right? And you will find that you have these blooming opportunities that are actually meant for you, because they're coming from the heart. They're being generated from the frequency of compassion for your authentic self, right? So you're casting out these potent projections from the heart space that call in the success, because again, it is meant for you. So yeah, really the message here is to not fear this aspect of yourself that is truly beautiful and is truly the medicine that the collective needs at this time. When we step into our authenticity, we bring medicine into the world. And I thought we were done here, but they jumped right out. Okay. So yeah, heart chakra, unlocking, generosity, stars aligned, remembering home, soul family. You're stepping into this place. Your heart chakra is unlocking, is opening, all that stuff I just said. And it is going to bring you to your soul family. It is like the stars are aligning, right? Like I said, so this is just more confirmation that when you move forward from this place, things will work out differently. You're just being really called to ask to heal this relationship with yourself. So I hope that helps. You are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are loved. Thank you.